Hello, it's Johnny on the track here, and I am here to discuss what was an amazing race yesterday at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. Wow, that race that we saw yesterday, that's what the fans wanted. That's what the fans asked for with this current package, with this, um, next gen car. This is what we wanted. We wanted lead changes. We wanted a lot of different guys having a shot to win each and every week. We wanted competitive racing. We didn't want the leader to be 15 seconds, ahead of everybody else. We wanted tight racing, 4 or 5 wide at Fontana, and it being hard to drive. Coming around the corner, cars are sliding. It's tough. Guys spinning out in practice. This is what fans wanted. And yesterday, I think we saw a revelation in the sport, that the sport is moving in the right direction, that they listened to the fans and figured out what I think to be probably the best package we've seen in a while, with the 670 horsepower in the 4-inch rear spoiler. Are there still issues? Yeah. I mean, the tire situation, cars getting stuck, the tires don't seem very durable. That seems to be an issue. That absolutely seems to be an issue. But in terms of the racing, in terms of the fan support towards the product, man, yesterday was a huge day in the sport. I just want to go through a couple things real quick, a couple statistics, with the start of the season. So this stat absolutely blows my mind. It actually was tweeted by NASCAR. Kurt Busch yesterday passed 133 cars in green flag racing. I mean, that's just insane. And it's Kurt. A lot of it has to do, yeah, he was in the back, he had issues, whatever. He started at the rear, sure. But the fact that you can pass cars easily, pass for the lead, pass back for the lead. I mean, that's huge. So that first stat, Kurt Busch passing 133 cars, that's awesome. Take it to the next level. 32 different lead changes and 9 different teams were in the top 10 yesterday. Just more great numbers. 32 different lead changes is I think double what, even more, probably even more, double what like an average auto club race would get. And on top of that, on top of the 32 lead changes, we saw guys like Briscoe, Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick, Daniel Suarez, Austin Dillon, Eric Almirola. They all had a legitimate shot at one point to win that race. I mean, there was so many, and obviously Larson comes at it like the Hendrick cars, Byron, Larson comes out of nowhere. Elliott was fast in bursts. Bowman was up there for a little bit. I mean, it was just crazy. There was so many different cars. I guess my biggest complaint of the race yesterday is, even with all of that, Kyle Larson still won the race. So, is it really any different than last year? Well, the product is, but if Kyle Larson's going to go out there and win, again, every week, that'll just prove to you how good this guy really is. But that was awesome. 9 different teams in the top 10, which I mentioned, which is insane. You had guys like BJ McLeod running around the top 20, all race, that's awesome for Live Fast Motorsports. Michael McDowell was running around top 15 throughout the whole race. So it shows even Front Row has made huge strides. And, it was even like, even when guys went 5-6 laps down, they still found a way, with how competitive this car is, with how hard it is to drive, the amount of cautions, that it's going to bring. Guys still, Kyle Busch, I mean, he was 3-4 laps down. He finished like 14th. Daniel Hemrick was 6 laps down at one point. He finished top 10. I mean, that's crazy. It just shows what this racing can be. And then the last one I want to go into real quick, the last stat, there have been 19 different drivers already that have finished top 10. And Eric Almirola is the only driver that has actually had 2 consecutive top 10s, which, again, I think we're going to be seeing this throughout the season. Different guys running in the top 10. You might see a LaJoy run 10th for, a couple races. Eric Jones might get some top 5s out of nowhere. Daniel Suarez looks like he can win some races. Chastain. I mean, the list can go on and on. I mean, there wasn't like honestly, yesterday there was not a bad car in that field. There really wasn't. I mean, sure, you know, you have your Smithley and your BJ McLeod where those cars are slower, but even like yesterday, BJ McLeod running like top 20 around the top 20. I think he finished 22nd. That's awesome. Like that's what racing should be. Racing should be everybody has kind of a chance, and then we finally get to see, okay, who can really wheel that thing? And the question has been answered. Kyle Larson can clearly wheel that thing. Eric Jones had a great weekend. Cindric still followed up a pretty good performance. So we're going to see a lot of cool things. We're going to see the drivers really have to work hard to get what they deserve. If they deserve a top 10, they're going to really have to work hard all day to get that top 10. And that's what racing is all about. That's what racing should be. This package, I think, that the fans wanted, the higher horsepower, I think really complements this car. Again, tire issues, sure. There's going to be tire issues. They need to straighten that out. But I think this season we are in for an absolute treat, because you look maybe down the line a year, 2 years from now, I think that a lot of the teams will figure this baby out, which that just happens. I mean, that just happens when you have your Hendricks, smart people that have been, you know, around the sport for so many years. They have that upper leg, they have that edge up, the funding and all that. They'll probably figure that out, right? But this year, when guys are learning, they're training, we're going to get road courses, we're going to get short tracks, super speedways, 2 miles, mile and a half, 1 miles, all of that stuff, right? They have to learn. So that was our first 2 mile track. We're going to go to Vegas for our first mile and a half track. Coming up will be a road course. That'll be a whole new show. Like we said, a 1 miler, Bristol on dirt with a next gen car. That'll be a whole different thing to adjust to. So I think with each race that we see, it's going to be who's a fast learner, who's learning the quickest, who can make adjustments. Because that was another key. Kyle Larson did not have the fastest car all day long, but adjustments seemed to be key yesterday. Eric Jones, his car was probably, I guess Reddick, who we saw what happened to him, but I guess Jones had the most, you know, the car from start to finish. That was probably the best all throughout the day. But the car that was the best at the end ended up winning, and that was Kyle Larson. And again, it just shows that adjustments are going to be huge, and you know, just who can wheel that baby, and that's going to be key. And that's why I think a lot of us are so excited with the qualifying session we saw. I like how they spiced up qualifying a little bit. Top five advance in two groups. The top one will get the pole, so that'll spice things up for people to get back into qualifying. And if guys are going to be spinning out and qualifying, pushing that baby to the limits, like that is awesome. That is what this sport is about. That is what racing is about. Are some people going to watch this and say, oh, it's still not the old days? Sure. I hear still, I don't want to watch it because the number placement, to me, that's ridiculous. This is a great step in the right direction. Will we have some step backwards throughout the season? I'm sure. But yesterday, I think, gave every single NASCAR fan hope who watched that race and said, man, this thing can be really entertaining throughout a full season. So on to Vegas. I'm excited for Vegas. Again, the first mile and a half track that'll be on the schedule this year. If it's anything like Auto Club, I'm excited. I am excited. I actually will be there at that Las Vegas race. So I can't wait to kind of document history, right? Like I said, first time the next gen will be on the mile and a half. I'll document some history, so that'll be cool. But let me know what you guys thought of that Auto Club race yesterday. Let me know what you think we'll see throughout the rest of the season. If you have any concerns, complaints about the next gen car, make sure you put them in those comments. Give us a like, subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.